Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on the part of Africa you are joining this session of career confidence and personal branding. First and foremost, as others are joining us, allow me to take this great opportunity to welcome you and open today's session. Feel most welcome. Today we are having one of the topics which is required for the development of ourselves at personal level. With our guest being Miss Precious Ayamba. I would like to encourage all of us that we keep interacting and keep networking as the sessions are continuing. Thank you very much. Allow me take this opportunity to welcome our guest who is going to take us through today's session until the end. Thank you very much and feel most welcome. Let us not forget to fill the feedback form which will be shared shortly in the chat, and also this will help us increase or improve anything as per the desire of us brothers and sisters for Young Africans Network to be favorable and suitable environment for us all. If you have any request, you can also put in the writing parts. Thank you very much. Welcome our guest.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me again for this session. Okay, so I'm called Ayamba Ebob Precious. Please permit my voice. I'm having serious cough and catarrh over here. Yes, in Cameroon is the rainy season, so there's a lot of cold. Okay, so once again, thank you for having me in this session. Okay, my name is Ayamba Ebob Precious, and I'm the head of public speaking and career development for the Young Africans Network. So this is literally my second session I'm going to be having with you, and I want to tell you that it's going to be an interactive session. So please, I hope that when I ask questions, yes, you're going to answer because it's very, very important. Yes, an integral part of this session. So the topic for today is building a strong personal brand as a young Africa. Building a strong personal brand as a young African. Now, like I said, this is going to be an interactive session. So it's going to be an interactive session. So I'll start by asking a question. I'll start by asking a question, which is imagine that you meet the CEO of your dream. I know that most of us here, Africans, have a lot of people that we idolize, people that we look up to that, like they impact us, a lot of famous people. Now, I'm asking this question before we begin because it's very, very important. Yes, because we're going to learn a lot just from this question. Now, imagine that you are, you meet the CEO of your dream in an elevator, and you have to, and you want to talk to the person, of course, because they're like the person that I've always wanted to meet. How would you introduce yourself in 60 seconds? Because you know CEO are busy people and they'll be like, talk fast, talk fast, talk fast. I have a meeting to do, I have a business to catch, I have a flight to catch, since they're CEOs. How will you introduce yourself in 1 minute? Yes. Please, uh, 2 to 3 volunteers would do. Hello, please I ask the question. Please can somebody respond? 2 or 3. I think we're about what 10. Okay, looks like no one is answering. So this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. Now, the question might look easy, but it's not easy because I just asked and nobody's responding. So showing that it's not an easy question. That if imagine like I'm in an elevator with let me say Elon Musk, okay. Now, how to introduce yourself in 1 minute? It might not be really easy. It's a lot of it's that's a problem that most young Africans have. Because sometimes you don't even know where to start. Should I start with my name? How do I even tell him that I love to do this? How do I even tell him that okay, this is what I'm doing? How do you even communicate all of your values, all of your skills, and all of that under 1 minute? It's not easy. You might not even feel confident to do it because I just asked the question now and nobody was confident enough to answer. So it shows that there's a lot of work to do, right? And that's why we are in this session. So today we're going to learn how to confidently present ourselves whenever opportunities find us. So please, I don't know, Innocent, can you move to the next slide? Okay, so the objectives for this session are understanding personal branding, build a professional image, manage your online reputation, introduce yourself confidently, and of course, practice networking etiquette. Now, let's understanding personal branding. Now, what is personal branding, right? We've heard about personal branding, how people build their brands, and it entails a lot. So, what's personal branding? Personal branding is the way people perceive you. I think, please, Innocent, should be moving to the next slide, please. Personal branding is the way people perceive you, the way people remember and talk about you when you are not in the room. Yes, that is personal branding. How people perceive you, remember and talk about you when you're not in the room. Now you notice that personal branding deals with most of the time when you are not in the room, when you are not present. That's how you know if you're branded yourself in a good way or in a bad way. We'll talk about personal branding. Of course, there are two types. We have good personal branding and of course bad personal branding. There's some people that when they're not in the room, people don't always talk good things about them. They might say they have pride, they are rude, they don't greet, and certain things. Now, someone might not be in the room, and when they talk, what they say about a person, that person inspires, that person is um impacts people, kind, humble, gentle. So all those are personal branding. How people perceive you, how people talk about you when you are not in the room. That is personal branding. Personal branding is your reputation. It is your reputation. How people see you, right? How people see you, your reputation, your values. Your skills, your character. Do you have a good character or a bad character? Like I said, there are two types of personal branding, good and bad. So you might have a bad character. Of course, you brand yourself in a bad way. And that's how people talk about you when you're not in the room. They talk about you in a bad way, in a bad manner. Personal branding is character. It's communication. Some people don't know how to communicate. Some people have poor communication skills. And it affects your personal branding. Personal branding is about your online presence. We know we're in the digital age, so online presence is very, very important in personal branding. And of course, as we'll be going forward, I'll talk about that. Now, I don't know if I should ask the question again because the first time I asked, nobody answered. So let me just give it a try. I think more people have joined the group, the meeting. Now, let's ask a question. Who comes to your mind when you hear about innovation? When you hear about leadership? When you hear about motivation? Who comes to your mind? Because I need 2 to 3 volunteers. Who comes to your mind when you hear about innovation? When you hear about leadership? When you hear about motivation? Who comes to your mind?
Yes, you can mute Judge, then proceed.
Yes, Miss Georgie, please answer.
Thank you for giving me the floor. So, who comes to my mind when I think about motivation is Dr. Miles Monroe. Who comes to my mind when I think about leadership is the infamous Napoleon Hill. And for innovation, I don't really actually have a specific person yet because I'm still exploring that field.
Okay, thank you very much. At least one more person, please. It's important. Please, one more person. Like, who comes to your mind when you hear innovation, leadership, motivation? Who comes to your mind? I'll talk about personal branding here. Oh. I'll talk about personal branding. And a question is being asked and people are not replying. Is that how you're branding yourself? Is that how you're branding yourself? You should be proactive. Okay, so since nobody is answering, thank you very much, Miss Georgie, for that answer. So she has listed the people who come to her mind when we talk about motivation and leadership. Now, if I ask, if I walk to a room and ask people the same questions, they'll call different names. And one of the reasons why they'll call different names is because these different people they think of have built strong personal brands. They have branded themselves differently. That's why if we're okay, let's say if we're supposed to be in like in a room or in a conference, I'll talk about personal branding. People have different responses. People have different people that motivate them. They'll have different people that they'll like to lead like them. They'll have different people. There are lots of great people. There are a lot of great leaders. There are lots of great people in innovation. Now, if we come to innovation, now we have Elon Musk, we have Bill Gates. There are lots, right? People will call their names. Why? Because these are people who have built strong personal brands, and of course, that build them differently. We know Elon Musk for SpaceX. We know Sam Altman for OpenAI, right? Those are people for innovation, and they have branded themselves differently. Now, a quick activity I want participants to do is that if you write something that you want somebody to remember you as. I was talking about personal branding here. So write something, a thing you want people to remember you for. How you want them to remember you. Should they remember you because you're a great leader? Should they remember you because you motivate? Should they remember you because you innovate? Right? So personal branding is not your logo. Now we're talking about Young Africans Network. When people hear about Young Africans Network, they don't see the logo. Some people might not even remember how the logo looks like. What they know is that okay, they have weekly sessions on public speaking, mental health, leadership. So that's what people know Young African Network for. Their reputation, not the logo. Now, personal branding, your brand is not your logo. Your brand is your reputation. Your brand is your reputation. How people see you, what they know you for, your values, your skills. That is what personal branding is. So that's all about understanding personal branding. Because personal branding matters because you stand out from the crowd, you build credibility, attract opportunities, expand your network, and of course, become a positive influence. Now, the next part of this, next objective is professional image. Professional image. Now, it talks about your appearance, how you appear, dress decently, neat. Now, we all know that some people, when they come to some occasions or conferences, you think that they're actually rich, but they are not. They might not be really rich, like the way people might perceive them to be, but it's because of their appearance. Appearance has to do a lot with personal branding. Now, we notice that if somebody comes to a conference, a big conference, and wears destroy, what's the first thing that might come to your mind? I want to ask questions, but I'm afraid that people will not answer, so I'll just be asking and answer myself. Yes. So imagine somebody comes to a conference and the person puts on destroy or dresses indecently. The first thing that might come to your mind is that this person is unserious, right? So that person has branded him or herself as an unserious person. But I might not have money. I might dress decently, neat, clean hairdo, clean haircut, and I walk into that conference. People know that okay, I'm a serious person. I'm here for business. I'm not here to play, right? That is personal branding. Your professional image, how you see yourself. Sorry for that interruption. So, appearance is very, very important for personal branding, your professional image. Communication, how you speak. Is it just a professional image? How you speak. Some people, when they talk to you, you cannot even get them. Like I said, some people have poor communication skills. Some people talk too fast. Some people talk. They have they do monotone delivery. The same pitch throughout. They don't know when to increase their voice, when to reduce their voice, and that deals with personal branding too. So I might have an event and I might have people, somebody who knows how to speak. The person knows how to articulate, how to communicate. I'll definitely go for that person because that person has branded him or herself in such a way that they will know you as a good public speaker. They will know you as a good leader. I will not go for somebody that gives monotone delivery. My name is da 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 da. You bore people. You don't articulate. You don't know how to communicate with the public. Personal branding. Punctuality. is part of personal branding. Now, you might have the knowledge, you might be intelligent, but if you're not punctual, it affects how you brand yourself. It affects how you brand yourself. It reduces trust. You might be intelligent, you might be good at what you do, but somebody might not even want to recommend you because you know that, okay, if I recommend this person is going to come late. This person is going to come late. And when you come late, they just be like, okay, I recommended this person and this person was to this event late. And the shame will come back to me because I recommended this person. So professional image, punctuality is part of it. When you're building a professional image, especially when you're building a personal brand, punctuality is very, very important. In Africa, there's a lot. We even have a new time apart from GMT, CAT, EAT. We have the Black Man time. I don't know about the country you're coming from, but in Cameroon, we have what we call Black Man time. Yes, lateness. That it affects us such that we can put a time, but we'll be like, people will not even come at that time because, of course, though, Black Man time, they'll come at their own time. They can come like 1 hour after. That's when the event is starting. Black Man time. We've invented our own time, and it affects our personal branding. It affects it a lot. Black Man time. We don't follow the GMT. We don't follow the GMT plus one. We don't follow CAT. We don't follow EAT. We have our own time. Black Man time. That's the time we follow. Lateness. Lateness. If you're late, if you're going for events late, if you're going to church late, if you're going for conferences late, you're not branding yourself well. Oh. You are not branding yourself well. Let's say, for example, okay, student A goes to a conference early, dresses well, can speak clearly, communicate, and student B has sense, okay, also intelligence, but student B is a latecomer, has poor communication skills, does not smile, does not articulate, gives monotone delivery. Brother, sister, I'm going for student A. I don't know about you. Because student A has branded him or herself as somebody you can trust. Because I talk about how punctuality builds trust. Especially when it comes to recommendation. Somebody will recommend you and you're able to deliver. It's very good. It makes sure that you're reliable. It shows that you are reliable. The next one, online reputation. I want to ask a question, but I'll just leave it. I'll just say the question, then we can come back at it towards the end. So, what habits destroy someone's professional image? What habits destroy someone's professional image? What habits destroy someone's professional image? And the next one is online reputation. Online reputation. Now, we live in the digital age. I'm sure mostly everybody here is on TikTok. Some people might not be on TikTok, but they're on Instagram. Some people might not be on Instagram, but they're on Facebook. Some people might not be on Facebook, but they're on Telegram. They might be on X. They might be at least in one social media platform, even this WhatsApp, even WhatsApp, online presence. And of course, we also know people who post things that are not pleasing. I will know people who post things that are impactful, things that motivate, people who innovate, So online reputation in personal branding matters a lot. Like I said earlier, you can either brand yourself in a good way or in a bad way because personal branding is the way people perceive you, is the way people see you when you are not in the room. Online reputation. Now let's talk about jobs. Now, before somebody hires you, of course, we're in the digital age, what do the employers do? They do a background search. One thing I've noticed that social media does not forget. let me just tell you, something might trend for a while, right? People might forget about the trend because new trends will come up, right? But if you're somebody looking for a job, somebody must do a background search about you online. And of course, social media does not forget. So whatever people might have forgotten, when your employer will do a background search on you, that employer will find something that can stain your reputation, something that does not look pleasing, and it might cost you an opportunity, even if you have changed or if you have turned the leaf. It's very, very important. Online presence. Think before you post. Sometimes I used to even see this meme that people talk about, that you should not judge people by the way they post. But yeah, if you really check it, you cannot really blame people for judging people because of the way, because of the things they post. Like, if you're posting that kind of thing, where did you first of all have that thing from before you're posting that kind of thing online? It's a question that people ask. If they say, no, I'm not that person, don't judge me because, hey, I'm posting that kind of thing. But if you want to check it, look detailedly, those people actually have those certain characters. Yes, even though they refuse that they are not the way, they don't have the same traits. Yes, with the posts they actually do online. So your online presence is very important. Think before you post. Don't just hurry to post. Don't just hurry to post. Don't just hurry to say, okay, this is what is trending. Let me just post it too. You might be looking for a job tomorrow. Huh? You might think that somebody has forgotten that, okay, you did this thing online. When your employer will look, when your employer will search online and notice that this is what you're doing, you will lose an opportunity. How you brand yourself, online presence. Forgive me, my voice is really making noise. I have serious cold. Yes, cough and catarrh. So your online reputation is very, very important, because let me tell you, your online presence is like a digital CV. Yes, I know that you have your own CV, your own thing, but what you post, the contents you post, your certificates, your skills, all those things matters. Let's talk about good online presence. You share projects, you share valuable content that can fetch you a job, content that can land you opportunities. I'm living proof that of good online presence. Yes, I'm living proof of good online presence. There's certain opportunities that have come my way because of the way I've branded myself online, right? I've had opportunities that, okay, come and speak in New York through LinkedIn. I've had an opportunity that come and speak in Dubai. I've had an opportunity that just came, I think yesterday, come and speak in South Africa. Though I'm not going for any of them, but it's just to show you how important personal branding is. I've never applied for those opportunities. I've never applied for those opportunities. And I never reached out to any of them to say that, okay, I'm looking for these opportunities. It's just because of how I branded myself. So, personal branding, it does a lot of talking before you even meet someone there and say, hello, my name is this. Right? The way you brand yourself, somebody might be looking for you. Somebody might have a job opportunity for you. You might not even know. You might not even know. You can go to a conference and someone's like, okay, I know you. I know you from LinkedIn, from Instagram. I see what you do. You don't know who is seeing you. You don't know what personal branding can do for you tomorrow. It can book a flight for you. It can take you to a country that you have never been before. You can network with a lot of people because of personal branding. And that happens because you maybe have to meet them and say that, okay, my name is this, I do this, my passion is this, my achievements are this. No, your content, because I say, think before you post. What you post online, that's what people see you for. It's very, very important. Bad things to avoid, of course: online reputation, hate speech. You just talk anyhow. You talk anyhow, hate speech, cyber bullying, bullying, cyber bullying. On the slide we have, avoid negativity, negative posts, reflect They reflect poorly on you. Avoid sharing private or sensitive information. I know that we live in a digital age and people just post anyhow everything about themselves. Like I said, social media never forgets. It will always be there. Except you delete it. It will always be there. There must be some news somewhere about that thing. People tend to remember the bad than the good actually. Right? So it's very important with how you post. Don't post something online that you wouldn't confidently say during a job interview. If that's to interview you, if your company is to interview you, don't push, don't post something, don't say something that if you are in a job interview, you will not say, you will not post, you will not talk about that particular thing. So it's very, very important. Confidence in introducing yourself. When we talk about opportunities, the first thing they'll ask is that, tell me about yourself. And that's where people really feel. Tell me more about yourself. And you'll be like, how do I start? Okay, I came from Ekono Titi. I'm the only child. People don't really care about that. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. It's very, very important in personal branding. Like the first question that I asked that nobody replied was that, imagine you're in an elevator. The same elevator. Let me just put someone's name. Let's say Elon Musk. And you have 1 minute to introduce yourself before he leaves. Right? Because you're in an elevator. So imagine the elevator door open. Of course, he's going out. And you're in the elevator. You have like 1 minute till it opens and he's going to where he's going and you're going to another place. Just imagine that. How do you introduce yourself? It's the same question as saying that opportunity. Tell me about yourself under 1 minute. How do you do that? How do you do that? I'll give you a simple formula. Your name, what you do, your passion, and your achievements, and of course, lastly, your goal. Now, somebody can say, okay, my name is Grace. My name is not Grace though. Somebody can it's an example. Somebody can say, my name is Grace. I'm a software engineering student. That's what I do, right? I'm a software engineering student. I'm a graphic designer. I build logos for brands. I'm passionate about designing creative flyers and logos that help to boost brand identity. My achievement is that in over 1 year, I've been able to build 35 brands. And I hope that by the year 2030, I'll build for close to 150 brands. That is an introduction in 1 minute. You have said your name, you have said what you're passionate about, you have said what you do. So if I'm recruiting somebody and I need an engineer, you told me that, okay, you're a software engineer. If I'm looking for a graphic designer with experience, you told me that you have designed over in 1 year designed for 30 brands. I know that you're passionate about that. And what are your goals? That in the next 5 years, you're going to have designed for close to 250 brands. That is introducing yourself. When you say tell me about yourself, you have literally spoken everything they want to know. They want to know about your passion. They want to know about what you do. They want to know about your achievement, and they want to know about your goals. So, if I were you, I would have written this formula already. Your name, what you do, your passion, your achievement, and of course, your goal. And of course, when doing this, we have to ensure that we smile. Like I said during the first session I had, public speaking, how to be a good public speaker. You smile, you speak slowly, you stand confidently. Of course, don't apologize too much, even though you want to be kind, don't apologize too much. Practice regularly. Practice makes perfect. Smile, speak confidently, speak slowly. Like I said, don't do monotone delivery. If I was doing monotone delivery, I believe this session would have been really boring. Smile, Speak slowly when it's necessary. Stand confidently. Avoid apologizing when it's not necessary, right? Practice regularly. I used to say during the first session that if you're not bold enough, meet your friend that you can confide in and say, okay, Bo, help me. Rate me on a scale of 1 to 10. How, how do I do? Did I do well? Did I do great? You can practice, you can record a video and judge for yourself. You can use a mirror. It's very, very important in personal branding. That's why some people can be invited to speak at an event and other people are not invited. Why? Because of how they brand themselves is very, very important when it comes to opportunities. Now, on the slide, we have, of course, your name, your profession, your interests, career goals, invitation to connect. Let me read the one we have here. Hello, everyone. My name is Nancy Akok. I'm a university student, passionate about leadership, personal growth, and community development. My career goal is to make a positive impact by empowering young people and contributing to sustainable development. I love to connect with people who share similar interests. Thank you. That might be that might be a script or a guide if you're in a conference, right? You can still be in a conference and like, hello, Miss. Hello, Miss Precious. Let me just use my name. Hello, Miss Precious. I like the way you spoke at the presentation. Please, I would love to connect with you. So it's very, very important when you are doing all this. So that's just an example we have on the slide there. So the next one is networking etiquette. Some people don't know how to network. Oh. Some people don't know. That's why some people might have contacts of big people, big personnel, and others don't have. Why? Networking. Networking is important in personal branding. It's important in personal branding. What is networking? It is building genuine relationships, not collecting contacts. Some people are good at collecting contacts. Oh man, please, I love how you spoke. Hey, please, can you give me a contact? Okay, they give you. You go see house. You cannot even text. Of course, you will even be thinking, how do I even introduce this myself to this person? The person takes my number, and because of this, say the person's number, right? Since you took the number from the person, it's not about connecting contacts. It's about building meaningful and genuine relationships. Listening more than you speak. That's a networking etiquette. Some people don't even listen. Like I said, people have poor communication skills. So a lot of people have poor communication skills. Before you want to talk one that's spoken 30. Before you want to speak two that are already at 100. Poor communication skills. And that's why it's difficult for people to network because before they want to even when the person wants to even finish speaking, they have cut the person. Because they're talking your own thing. They're talking this and that, things that are not even important. Things that are not even important. So it's very important that we learn this because they're very important for personal branding. Now, sorry for that. I have serious cold. Now, I've spoken a lot about personal branding, networking etiquette. Now, this on the second have action plan, update your CV. Improve LinkedIn, review social media, practice your introduction, attend a networking event. Now, improve on LinkedIn. Now, some people feel that LinkedIn is very, very boring, right? But that's one of the most professional apps you ever find. Is LinkedIn. That's a place where you build that's a very good place to build your personal brand. Like I said, I've had like 3 speaking invitations, international invitations, just because of LinkedIn. I never applied for any of them. You say, okay, I went through your profile and I'm giving you this opportunity to do this. You understand? It's about personal branding. It's as a result of personal branding. I don't think that if I have sat down and say, okay, this LinkedIn app is boring, I'll never post. I'll never update my CV. I'll never apply for opportunities. I even think that I'll sit at the comfort of my zone, right, in my house, and I'll just go to my messages and just say, okay, hello, Miss Ayamba, I'm going to share profile. Okay, and I'm offering you this opportunity. It will never happen. It's how you brand yourself. That's what I said earlier that some people will always be invited to speak at events over and over and over and over again. Where people do, some people will never have that opportunity because of the way they brand themselves. Either you brand yourself as a good person or a bad person. It might not be LinkedIn, it might be Instagram, right? On Instagram, we still have international platform. We have Plan International. We have the AU, the African Union. We have a lot. We have Forbes Africa. We have a lot of opportunities. We have UNICEF. We have the International Youth Convention, the National Organization of the Youth. All of them are on Instagram. There's WeTech. There's Tech for Development. All of them are on Instagram. So when you brand yourself, it's very important. That's why certain opportunities come and they'll be like, let's see your portfolio. Let's see what you do online. Right? They'll always say that provide links. If you notice it, for a lot of people apply for opportunities, like I've applied for opportunities, they'll tell that put your social media link. They always want to do a background check. That's why I said social media never lies. So I mean, social media does not forget, rather. It does not forget. So you have to know how you post. Because it might cost you a lot of opportunities. So ask you, provide your social media links. It might should be those links that people know. They can see what you're advocating for, what you're talking about. And so it is very, 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 very important that, of course, we brand ourselves well. It might be on Facebook. You might be somebody, an entrepreneur. You have a very brilliant idea. And Facebook is very good for business. If you cannot brand yourself very well to have customers, it's a problem. You might miss pitching opportunities. You might miss grants that can help boost that business because you don't know how to brand yourself. So I believe that we have been able to learn a lot from here. I'll be able to learn a lot from this session. And I'll just some key takeaways for those who join in late. Your reputation is your brand. Consistency builds trust. You know, your online presence matters. And of course, confidence grows with practice. And of course, it's always good to network when you have the opportunity. And I've told you how to network on our 1 minute. Using the example that you meet your dream CEO in an elevator and you have 1 minute to talk to him. Now, I'll just end by saying that opportunities rarely announce themselves. I'm living proof that I don't have to apply for certain opportunities. They just come. Opportunities rarely announce themselves. They often begin with a conversation. I said, also I'll talk about us emphasizing on good communication skills. They often begin with a conversation, a first impression, how you appear. Somebody can go to a conference, like I said, I'll repeat it. Somebody can go to a conference and wear destroy. Let me say, probably a half naked dress. That person screams on seriousness. Like I said, first impression matters. Even that person has the knowledge, the sense, right, to deliver, even to even impact people. But the way the person appears, just like, what is this person doing here? This person doesn't belong here. But meanwhile, they belong there. It's just their appearance, professional image, right? Opportunities rarely announce themselves. They often begin with a conversation. A first impression, a simple introduction. That first example I gave at the beginning. How you introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. I get a formula. Your name, what you do, your passion, your achievement, and of course your goals. That's how you introduce yourself. When somebody says, "Tell me about yourself," it sounds, it's a big, it has a lot of things. Just like somebody gives this one, I said, "Tell me about yourself." I've broken down to about 5 branches. Your goals, your passion, it has a lot, and that's where people go wrong. They often begin with a conversation, a first impression, or a simple introduction. Build a personal brand or tell everyone, yeah, people, part of the Young African Network, that build a personal brand that speaks for you before you even say a word. Before you even say that my name is Ayamba Ebob Precious. Before you even say that my name is Emmanuel. Before you even say that my name is Innocent. Your personal branding should do the talking. Thank you very much. Thank you, Young African Network, for this opportunity. I'm grateful. So we have come to the end of the teaching and all of that. Now is question and answer time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We now come to the end of the session. Yeah, we will have to welcome anyone who has a question about the session or what to share. Can feel free. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Precious, for the wonderful session. So my question goes to what of those that are actually scared of the public, that stage fright? How do they go about public speaking? Because I believe that's the highest problem that actually affects so many people.
Okay, thank you very much, Ida, for that question. Inda, sorry, I don't know if I pronounced it well. Please forgive me. Okay, should I have all the questions first or should I answer per person? I don't know, Innocent. Which one works better? Because I'm sending a hand up. Okay.
Okay, thank you. My question is this one. We have been seeing what we call the personal branding. As the public speakers, sometimes you go to the new place, you have been appointed to rule a meeting, you have been appointed to become a master of ceremony in certain cases. We already know that there are some experienced speakers who are good at speaking, who convey their message properly, and who convince the audience so that everyone who needs someone to orate somewhere, they call someone or text someone to go there. What if you are the one who was going to start for first time? What can you do to brand your name so that in the following days or other following ceremonies you can be part of that? How can you convince the audience for the first time while the people already know those who are experienced than you? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel, for that question. So I think the question is also relates to, okay, another question. Maureen, let's have a question.
She is muted.
Maureen, please unmute your mic and speak. Maureen. Okay, since she's still preparing, I think I'll just answer the first two questions. Then after I'm done, we can come back to Maureen after. Okay, the first question was about public speaking for those who are afraid of public speaking and what I'll advise for people to do. Okay, the first session that I had with in Young Africans Network was about public speaking, overcoming the fear of public speaking. Yes. Now, one thing I'll advise is that if it's your first time, I also link it towards the master of ceremony that they might also know people who have been doing the job before and it's your first time and you want to build yourself in such a way that okay you have opportunities for to speak at events even though they know that okay they have experienced people. Now it all talks about public speaking, right? Doing it for the first time if you're afraid. Now one thing I'll say is that practice. Practice. I think that's the best thing I'll say. Practice. Okay. It might be your first time of emceeing an occasion. Practice like I've never practiced before. Like I even said mentioned this during the session, personal branding. That if you have somebody that you can confide in, your I know that everybody has a close friends, right? People that you can even share things with. Call them, call on them, talk to them. Practice as if you are going to stand on stage and are going to empty that location. You might be afraid, right? Like what Inda said, you might be afraid of speaking. Practice. Because when you practice, you're going to be bold. Because you know that you don't have experience, right? And you want to give a good impression. Like a first good impression. So practice. If if it means that you should practice for months, practice for months. If it means that you should stand every day in front of a mirror and say, okay, this is how the ceremony is. Okay, good evening, guys. I'll be your MC or I'll be the acting hostess for this event. Practice. Practice what you say. Research. Watch TED Talks, TEDx Talks. Watch how people have been talking. Watch their journeys, how they started. Research, right? Research. Practice. Then listen to people who have done it before you have done it before. Listen to people who have MC big occasions. Listen to how they started. Anybody who started with experience, they were afraid at first. They don't know how to build a brand at first. That fear has always been there. Even people who speak at big occasions. Let me tell you, there's always that little nervousness that you always have. There's always that little, you always shiver at the first few minutes. Then as you start, you balance. It must always be there. The fact that people have experience or something and are not scared is practice. If they're able to build an experience, it's because they have been practicing. They have been doing the job. They practice even when no one is watching them. They sit and record themselves and they practice. They do research. They learn from people how to articulate. They learn how to smile. Some people don't know how to smile. They learn it. They learn how to smile. They learn to know when to increase their voice and they know when to reduce their voice. Some people don't know that. Some people do monotone delivery, like I've said. But the research on how to know when to increase your voice and when not to increase your voice. Some people learn how to articulate. Some people just stand like a pillar of salt, right? Because they're afraid. They shiver. But when you practice, when you research, take time. If you are slow, take time. If it means that you practice for 1 year to build a good impression and have opportunities for MC occasions, do it. Because when you start having those opportunities, before you know it, you'll be used to it'll be in your blood. They'll call you, they'll just call you when you don't even expect it and you'll deliver. Practice. Public speaking is practice. Some people, public speaking might be an inborn skill, like I said during the first mentorship session before even this personal branding. Public speaking can be an inborn talent. Some people are just good talkers. If you notice, some people have never been shy in their life, right? But some people, it's a skill. Public speaking is a skill that you must learn. And you learn by researching, you learn by practicing, you learn by doing. When you do, you learn. When you do, you learn. Start with a small crowd. Call your friends that you know, okay, they'll always encourage you, right? Call them. If you're afraid of them, start to your mirror. From your mirror, move to your phone. That's why it's not everybody that's a content creator. Because people are afraid. They're afraid about what people say, how about their assets. But the truth is that people don't really care about your assets. They don't even care about how you look. Because everybody wants you to do good. It's just you that's being afraid of yourself. You don't just believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that you can do it. You have to believe that, okay, I'm made for this. I'm born for this. Okay, I've practiced. Right? That fear will always be there. To be honest, it will always be there. But when you have practiced, as soon as you start, I used to even say that when you're talking, look for one person that is trying to listen to what you're saying. And look at that person. Look at that person. That person is trying to listen to what you're saying. That person that believes in what you're saying, even though people are pressing their phones, doing whatsoever. Just look for that one person in the crowd that's like, okay, let me hear what this boy is trying to say. Let me hear what Ina is trying to say. Let me hear what someone is trying to say. And just focus on them. And you'll do great. I hope that I'll be able to answer your question. If you still have more questions, I'm open for it. Thank you very much. Maureen had a question. I don't know if she's I don't know if she's in the call. Maureen.
Thank you, Miss Ayamba. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I had no question. It was just a request to Young Africa Network. Maybe they can allow us, they can make that choice for us to allow us to share our LinkedIn account link in our WhatsApp group so that we can connect with each other. I think we are a family, and if we cannot support each other, when are we going to grow? Yeah, thank you. Good night, everyone. Yeah, allow me to take this opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity to thank that department. Thank you, Miss Ayamba. Yeah, your energy, it's top notch. I really enjoyed every single word, and I hope every one of us have learned something. Thank you to Young Africa Network. You are creating an incredible thing. Yeah, this is incredible. I said by the end we're done with 1 year, our story with Young Africa Network will be different. Looking forward to the next session. Have a good night, everyone. And to all the Christians inside this room, happy Saturday, a blessed week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Young Africans Network. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who made it here. Thank you very much. Okay, happy Sunday. Yes. See you. Signing out.